Well, the real estate market in San Diego is definitely getting better for buyers. So how can you take advantage of it? Two of my good friends are here, Alysha Tanksley and Rebecca Monge. Great to see you guys.
Hi, so glad to be here.
Great to have you all here. Hey, finally, what buyers have been waiting for years now, a market that isn't a complete crazy mess. How can we take advantage? If we're a buyer in this market, give me some ideas.
We have a lot of buyers that are really excited.
Exactly. We've been working with sellers all this time. A lot of sellers who are selling and buying, but we had a bunch of buyers kind of pull out of the market, and now we're seeing them jump back into the market.
That's a good sign then.
Very good. And to me, that's good for sellers too, because things are becoming more balanced, Don't you think so?
Yeah, it's like we got to a certain point where the market was very confrontational, where you would submit an offer, sometimes you wouldn't hear anything. It was just kind of, weren't really working together. I feel like now we're in a place where the market being more balanced is, more like working together, like list side, buy side, we're trying to put the deal together, keep everyone happy again. It's not just, the seller is the king of the castle and that is that, which is, it's just not a fun way to do business. But buyers, there are a lot of buyers who are coming back to the market. I noticed that especially the last couple of weeks, getting calls from people I haven't heard from in forever. Hey, what do I need to do to update my pre-approval?
Us too.
That is a great sign that they're seeing the opportunity, because there's also still a good contingent of buyers who are going, we're going to wait till next year. We're going to see how this plays out. I think the market's going to crash, or I think the recession.
Well, they say that every year.
Yeah, of course. The clickbait is always there, right? For market crashes. But specifically, let's say, how do you coach someone, Alysha, let's just, for a buyer who is coming back and say, what do you say, how can they take advantage of this situation?
Well, I would say, firstly, one of the big things we've been dealing with is contingent buyers. I think buyers have opportunities they didn't have before.
So having to sell a home first, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of people that have kind of been sitting on the fence saying we need to sell a home, but we need to find a home, and of course there's a lot of options for that, but a year ago there was no way that was going to happen, and a contingent offer was not going to be considered at all, and now they are. We're getting contingent offers accepted, and they're actually being entertained, and like you said, there's not just one side that has all of the power, where, you have no contingencies, no time, no opportunity as a buyer.
Yeah, you better cover the appraisal gap and pay for all the repairs yourself. You can negotiate those things now.
Even like she said, we have a lot of sellers who are waiting because they said, sure, we're going to get a great price for our house, but there's no homes for us to buy. Yeah. No one would take a contingent offer, and they were so afraid of being homeless.
Right.
You know what I mean? When there were 50 homes for sale in Fallbrook, when there should be 250, so we're actually getting both sellers and buyers. I think people would say to us, wow, you must love this market. This must be fabulous, because you get 40 offers. And we're like, no, actually, it's a nightmare of paper. And it made the sellers turn strange. We would go, what we're going to list is $799. Oh, do you think you could get $799? Then we would get $999, and they go, do you think we could get $1 million? And we'd be like, calm down here. Let's bring it down. So, and it was miserable telling this many people no, because you were constantly disappointing everybody. It was really hard. Now, and like you said, most buyers can't do that. They don't have the cash to waive an appraisal and to offer $150,000 over asking. So now it's more reasonable. Now the sellers think, oh, I missed the boat. No, because you're going to get a good price for your home. You're going to get 1 to 3 offers, like you should. You know what I mean? And we're going to sell your home, and you're going to be able to buy something. I think it's better for everybody.
Yeah. What do you think it is that triggers that seller? Because that's the seller that, I've been kind of talking about a lot, like the people who just didn't want to sell and buy in a crazy market. It was just too many moving parts, too much stress. It's already hard enough to sell and buy a home at the same time, just 2 transactions that you're very, very much involved in, paperwork wise and emotionally. and you need both of them to go well in order for it to work out. So there's a lot of stress for people who don't do that every day, like we do. And so, what do you think is the measure for those people? Is it the inventory? Is that the reason? Seeing more options on the market? What is getting them off the fence in your?
Definitely, I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? Seeing choices. We just took a family out, and before, maybe there's one house and then it's gone, and then there'd be a house and then it's gone. Now they just went out, and they went out and saw okay, there's 7 different houses where we looked at them and thought, yeah, we would buy any of these. So we listed their house.
Gotcha.
Right.
You know what I
We
mean?
had buyers.
And made a contingent offer for them.
Okay.
We had buyers that were just taking anything they could get. It wasn't really their dream home. Certainly worth it. 2 years later, you have all kinds of equity, and more importantly, you're a homeowner and you're not renting. But there were a lot of compromises made by buyers with offers in the low inventory market. So I think a combination of more inventory and seeing the houses on the market a little longer. When we see a home on the market for 7 days, they just have that hope that, I have a chance on it. I'm not going up against 20 offers. And buyers who were just really getting fatigued over the last year and a half, we had some stop. They were trying and they stopped. Some of them just never even jumped in. But now I think they're just starting to feel more optimism and hope of getting a property.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing, and it's something that it's exciting to think that, hey, I can get pre-approved today, go look at houses this weekend, and be in escrow early next week, and not have blood all over me, to actually be able to do
offers
that. Yeah.
Not accepted.
Yeah, exactly. To be able to just go buy a house when it's time, and sellers may have missed the top, but you're still getting a good price. Prices haven't declined that much. They really haven't, and it only takes one buyer, and that's what we're seeing a lot of times. A lot of these properties that are getting in a contract, there's 1 or 2 offers or 3 offers, and one of them is probably a low ball. Let's talk about that, because what is the value of a home when 4 out of the last 5 appraisals that I've seen come back, the appraisal is higher than the purchase price, and that's typical for a market where prices are coming down a little bit. But how do you know how do you advise on where to make an offer that makes sense in a market that is declining, or the comps may not dictate exactly where the value is going to be? Do you think it's okay to write offers, under asking, or even maybe a little
bit?
Yeah.
And we have seen a lot of price adjustments, where people, which is another thing to me that's giving the buyers hope, because, like you say, they're seeing something sitting for 3 weeks. And those people are dropping their price 25, 50 grand because those people are kind of chasing the market. I think they had priced aggressively, looking at what sold a month or 2 ago, and now they're going, okay, we need to be realistic or we're going to miss it altogether. I mean, we never tell people to make a lowball offer, but
Communication is key.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, we always called the agent if we could talk to them.
Right.
But
answer their phone.
That's still the case today. It's really a case-by-case basis because we are seeing homes that are priced really well. They're recognizing the market shift, not the market crash, and they are pricing well, and they're nice homes, and they're still getting multiple offers. We are still seeing that, and then we know to tell our clients, okay, maybe you do want to come in with an aggressive offer over asking. If a home's been on the market 30 days and they don't have any offer, then absolutely, let's make a reasonable offer below asking because you don't have any competition.
Yeah, and they've got to entertain it. They've got to present it, and you're going to at least get talked to.
Right.
And will respond to you.
You can negotiate.
Yeah, they may counter, back at a higher number, and you can decide then if you want to counter them or walk away and see what happens. So you have options, which is nice, I think, for buyers.
Right, it's not the only one. We made an offer yesterday for somebody, which we're waiting to hear back. And I think it was originally listed at $829, and it's been listed, I don't know, 45 days or something like that. They've dropped their price to $799, and our clients put in an offer at $780.
Reasonable.
So reasonable.
Yeah.
But, we did talk to the realtor. We knew there were no other offers. Are they a little flexible? So it's communication. You know what I mean?
Again, both sides working
Right.
together again to try to put something together, to meet in the middle and make it happen.
Right.
That's
Well,
good.
and we try to set that expectation with our sellers and with our buyers. Before, it was a complete fight. You were fighting every minute. And we tell our buyers and our sellers it's not supposed to be a fight, it is supposed to be a dance. You want to sell your home, they want to buy a home. We are all going to work together. We're going to make this a win-win for everybody. We're going to make it smooth and we're going to get through it. We are dancing. We are not beating each other up here, right? I mean,
Well, and there's a reason for that. It is good, as you mentioned earlier, for both sides, because we're not just dealing with a change in price, but a change in terms, where buyers were having to, some of them were completely waiving any kind of inspection contingencies, which we never recommended. Appraisal is one thing, sale of property is one thing. Inspections, though, shortening them up to 5-7 day inspections. There was so much pressure on a buyer, and really it's pressure for both sides. If a buyer does not have an opportunity to properly investigate a home, it's really not good for either party.
It's not.
So, and you may not feel that way now, but in a couple of years from now, you could run into problems. So we're seeing, buyers having that opportunity to, have a couple weeks to investigate, these properties, and it's taking a lot of pressure off.
Yeah, it's nice to know what's under the hood
Yeah.
before you make a $700,000-$800,000 purchase. And I think it's totally reasonable to expect that you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're writing the offer with certain expectations. The home is in a certain condition, certain maintenance is taken care of, and things like that. So it's great now that you have regular, normal inspection time frames, appraisal turn times, due diligence periods there. And also, requests for repairs being granted. We're seeing a lot more flexibility on that, a lot more commitment, I think, from sellers. Like, okay, you're our buyer. Okay, that's reasonable. You're right. The roof is old. Okay, yeah, we'll give you a couple thousand for that. Not getting a lot of pushback on that stuff. And I think that's good to see that sellers have gotten away from the mentality, well, if you don't take it, the next one will. And they don't want to go back on the market.
well, they don't have 15 offers waiting in the wings. And it goes both sides. I mean, a year ago, we were seeing a bunch of people lying. With our sellers, we explained, it sounds great to have 20 offers, but people were lying to get their offers accepted. We had people say they were doing conventional, and then they sent in a VA appraiser. And we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Or they would offer they could close in 14 days or 21 days. And then, of course, they could not close in that time frame. And we would say, well, that's what you said. And they'd be like, well, how did you expect us to close? Well, we expected you to actually keep your word, And I think now we don't want a bunch of liars making offers they can't keep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they
Yeah.
probably felt like they had to just to get in.
Right.
This is
Exactly.
the only way
They
it's
thought
going to
it's
happen.
the only way to get it accepted.
It
Right.
was absolutely out of desperation.
But then it turned into a big mess.
Which fortunately we no longer have. Ladies, thank
That's
you so much
right.
for coming today. It's great to see you both. I really appreciate your time and your contribution.
Thanks for having us.
And hey,
you.
share this with your friends. Let's help make them smarter than everyone else.